Welcome to the Third Wave Business Systems Credit Card Processing Application Instructional Video Series. My name is Dennis Tucker. I'm the Development Manager here at Third Wave. And in this second session, we will be covering how you can safely store credit card data for your business partners for repeated use, how you can configure credit card SAP users for manual card entry or swipe devices, how you can configure card swipe devices for use with the Third Wave credit card processing application, and how you can use the non-business partner associated one-time card features of the credit card application. Third Wave's credit card processing fills the void in SAP by allowing the users to authorize funds against a customer's card, directly charge a customer's card, or capture previously authorized funds, and apply those funds to incoming payments in SAP Business One for the documents. It extends your ability to take in funds from your customers, giving them flexibility to meet their needs and yours. Third Wave's credit card processing application helps you to manage your business better. So let's get started. The first topics that we're going to cover today are those associated with storing credit cards on the business partner for repeated use. That includes entering the card against the business partner, requiring address fields, designating a default card for the business partner, updating card details from the authorization screen, and utilizing the card expiration search screen. Information on credit cards associated with business partners to be used in the Third Wave credit card processing application are stored on the business partner master data screen and can be accessed by clicking on the credit card tab that has been added to the form. When the data on the tab loads, the information for the default credit card associated with the business partner will be loaded into the matrix on the right-hand side. You'll get a list of all credit cards associated with the business partner in the matrix on the left-hand side. If the business partner only has one credit card associated with it, that credit card will automatically be designated as the default card for the business partner. To add a new credit card to the business partner, simply click on the Add New option on the left-hand matrix. This will clear the fields on the right and allow you to enter data for your new card. The first field that should be completed is the credit card name, which should be a unique identifying name for the credit card on the business partner. You can use the same credit card unique name for a card on a different business partner, but you cannot reuse it for a second card on the same business partner. The next piece of information is to select the credit card type. The drop-down box will be populated from the credit cards that you've set up in your SAP Business One database. The next field on the screen contains the cardholder's name that's printed on the front of the credit card. The next piece of information to be added is the credit card number. Please be sure to enter the full credit card number without any spaces or dashes. When the credit card data is saved by the application, the credit card number will be encrypted and stored. The only value that will be visible to the user is a masked credit card number, which will consist of 12 X's and the last 4 digits of the credit card. The original credit card number will not be available to any user after it's been saved to the business partner. The last piece of basic required information for the credit card is the card expiration date formatted in month/year, which means if you're entering a card with an expiration date of January through September, you do need to format the month with a preceding 0. All data entry fields required by the credit card processing application will be identified with an asterisk to the right of the label name next to the field for entry. The default field underneath card expiration is not editable, but will simply identify if the card is the designated default card for the business partner. Address fields will only be required if during the setup of the credit card processing application you elected to turn on address validation services. If you are using Level 2 or Level 3 data transmission, you should turn on AVS or address verification checking, as the data in these fields is required for those levels of transmission. If address validation is enabled, the required address fields will vary depending upon the credit card processing gateway that you are using, and all fields required will be identified with an asterisk. Address validation is only available for credit cards in the United States. If you have cards that you would like to exclude from address validation, simply click the checkbox above the first Address 1 field and that card's data will not be transmitted for address validation. Once I've completed the data entry for my new credit card for the business partner, I can simply click the Update button, go back to the Credit Card tab, and my new credit card will now be listed on the left-hand side. I can click on it to see the credit card details. The full card number has been replaced with the masked credit number string, which is the X's and the last 4 digits of the card. Please note that the 3-digit card security or CVV code from the back of the credit card cannot be stored on cards that are saved to the business partner, as storing of this data would violate PCI compliance. To change the default credit card for a business partner, simply load the data for the credit card that you would like to assign as the default card and click the Set as Default Credit Card button underneath the left-hand list of cards. The user will be prompted for confirmation that you would like to change the default credit card. Once you've confirmed the change, the data will reload and your new default credit card will be identified with a check in the default checkbox. To remove a credit card from a business partner, also load the data for the credit card to be removed and click on the Remove Credit Card button underneath the left side credit card list. Once again, the user will be prompted with a confirmation, and once that's confirmed, the data for that credit card will be removed from the database. Please be aware that once you've removed a card from the database, it cannot be recovered. It would have to be re-entered from scratch. Also, please note that you should not remove any credit cards that there are currently open authorizations against. Data for credit cards associated with business partners can also be updated from the credit card authorization screen of the ThirdWave credit card processing application. With a customer's card listed on the screen, I can simply update the appropriate fields to be changed. In this case, I'm going to update the address 1 field, and I'm also going to update the value of the zip code. Once I've completed the updating of data on the screen, I can simply click the Update BP button, and the data on the business partner records credit card will be changed. If I change to a different credit card and come back again, you'll be able to see that the data loaded for the card does reflect the changes that I've updated on the business partner record. The last topic we'll cover today regarding cards stored against the business partner is how to use the credit card expiration search screen, an easy utility to identify cards that will have expiration dates coming up that you will need to update on the business partner master data record. The card expiration search screen is accessible through the card expiration search menu option located under Banking, Incoming Payments, TWBS Credit Card Processing menus. In order to use the screen, when it loads, it will come up with the current date in the Cards Expiring by Date field. Simply change the value of this date to whatever date that you would like to search for, by which credit cards currently listed in your system on the business partner will expire. For this example, I'm going to change the date to February 28th, 2019. This will list any cards associated with a business partner that are going to expire prior to that date. When the search is executed, it lists 6 cards, all of whose expiration date is prior to the specified February 2019 date. Each of these cards has the business partner name and code listed on the line, and next to the business partner code is a link to arrow which will allow you to drill back to the business partner master data record so that you can go into the specific credit card identified and update the information. The next topics that we'll be discussing are how to use a credit card as a one-time card not associated with the business partner, including how to set up your SAP users for either manual card entry or swipe device card entry, and how to set up credit card swipe devices. In order to utilize the one-time card entry feature of TWBS credit card processing, each SAP Business One user who will be using the credit card application will need to have a user-defined field set on the user's setup screen to designate what type of card entry they'll be using. The screen is accessible through the Administration, Setup, General menu groups, and the user's menu option. If you look at the user-defined fields associated with the user's setup screen, there's a default one-time CC entry field with a manual entry and device entry option. The manual entry option will allow users to manually type in the card number to be used for a one-time card, while the device entry option will let the application know that that user is going to use a configured swipe device to enter the card data on the authorization or payment means screens. Use of the device entry option does allow you to cancel out of the swipe device and manually enter the card number in the event of a swipe failure. The TWBS credit card processing application supports limited use of credit card swipe devices for entering credit card information on the authorization screen or the payment means screen of SAP Business One in authorization and direct charge scenarios. Card swipe devices cannot be used for entering cards on the Business Partner Master Data screen. In order to use a credit card swipe device, you need to use the credit card device configuration screen accessible through the Administration, Setup, Banking, TWBS Credit Card Setup menu groups, and the Card Swipe Configuration menu option. There are two types of devices that can be configured for use with TWBS credit card processing. The first is a keyboard enumerated device. This is a device that if you were to open up a text program like Notepad or WordPad, place your cursor in the program, and swipe a card through the swipe device, the information from the strip would be typed into the program as if someone had sat and manually typed it. If you're configuring a keyboard enumerated swipe device, you simply need to click the option on the screen that says Read from Keyboard Enumerated Devices and click the OK button. If you're using a device that is not a keyboard enumerated device and is a USB device, then what you would need to do is to select the option for Read from USB Devices. Once you select the Read from USB Devices, you will get a list of all devices that are attached to your computer. We recommend that you select this option before attaching the swipe device to your computer. Once you attach the swipe device to the computer, then you can click the Refresh Device List, and then you can see the new item that's listed on the device list. This will be the easiest way to determine which listed device is your card swipe device. Select the device and click the Choose Device button. Once you've done that, you can click the Update button on the screen and your device is configured. Card swipe device configuration only needs to happen on a machine once for each Windows login onto the machine. If multiple SAP users are using the same machine and using the same Windows login on the machine, then the device does not need to be configured for each SAP user, simply once for the machine. If people are using a machine and using different Windows logins, a card swipe device would need to be configured for each Windows login on the machine. The last topics that we'll be covering today is how to use the one-time card option in the TWBS credit card authorization window or the SAP Business One payment means window, and the limitations on reusing one-time card data for reauthorization scenarios. On the TWBS credit card authorization screen, in addition to all of the cards saved on the business partner record, you'll also get an option for one-time card on the credit card name dropdown. If you select that one-time card option and the user is configured for device entry, the user will see an intermediary swipe screen. If the user swipes the card, details about the card, including the card number, the name on card, and the card type and expiration date will appear on this screen in this blank area provided. However, if there is a problem with the swipe, you can hit the Cancel button and manually enter the data into the fields for the card the same way that you would if the user was set up for manual entry rather than device entry. This is a useful feature for the user in the event of a swipe device failure or in the event of an attempt to swipe a card with a bad strip or some other reason causing the data to not be read by your swipe device. For the purposes of this demonstration, I'm going to go ahead and manually complete the data for my card that I would like to use for one time that's not saved against the business partner master data record. When I've completed the manual data entry, I can authorize the one-time card by clicking the Authorize button. We'll transmit the data to the credit card provider, and as you can see, an authorization has been returned and my authorization code has been filled in with the authorization card details locked down, with no need to add the credit card details to the business partner. To illustrate the use of the one-time card feature on the SAP Business One Payment Means screen, I'm going to open an incoming payment screen, put in my business partner code, and bring up an invoice that I've added to the system for the purposes of this demonstration. Once I select the invoice, I can go ahead and click on the payment means screen. When the payment means screen loads, the Third Wave credit card add-on has added two buttons, Choose Credit Cards and One-Time Card, to the payment means screen's credit card tab. If I click the one-time card button, I'm asked if I'd like to clear the default card. I'll say yes, and my default swipe screen will appear. Again, I'm going to click cancel just for the sake of this demonstration. And then I can manually enter the credit card information on the payment means screen, picking the card type, entering the credit card number, entering the expiration date, the card security code if I choose to enter it, and any other information associated with the card. When I'm ready to complete the transaction, I'll go ahead and click the OK button on the payment means screen, and the data for the transaction will be transmitted to the credit card processing gateway. When the authorization and capture is successful, the voucher number field will be filled in with the authorization code. I can continue on my SAP messages, go back to the incoming payment, and complete the incoming payment by adding it to the system. It's very important when you do an incoming payment this way that you complete the incoming payment. Otherwise, the card will have been charged, but SAP will not recognize the funds against the document you selected for the incoming payment. If I click on the payment means screen, you can go back and view the transaction information for your incoming payment. There's a setting in SAP Business One that limits the data entry on credit card number fields to 4 digits. If this setting is enabled in SAP Business One, the one-time card feature will not be enabled for this payment means screen because the credit card number cannot sufficiently be entered onto the form. The setting in question is located on the Company Details screen under Administration, System Initialization, Company Details. Located towards the bottom of the Basic Initialization tab, it's a checkbox with a label of Mask Credit Card Number. Third Wave is aware of this limitation and is currently working on a method to allow the use of the one-time card feature even if this mask credit card number configuration is enabled. The last topic that we're going to cover today is another limitation of the use of the one-time card. As we previously discussed, one-time card entry is only available on the Third Wave credit card authorization screen or on the payment means screen in SAP Business One. If you find yourself in a situation where an authorization for a one-time card has either expired or was used as part of a partial shipment, you can still use the one-time card to reauthorize the order as long as you're using the Third Wave Sales Order Reauthorization screen available underneath the Sales AR menu. You'll notice the order I have highlighted on the screen has a one-time card on it under the card name column. The limitation on this is if I were to choose a card from the business partner and replace the one-time card information, and I processed the reauthorization, you cannot get back the one-time card data at a later time in the process. If you want to process this with the one-time card, you cannot alter the credit card data on the line before you process the reauthorization. ThirdWave's credit card processing application is flexible enough to meet your credit card data storage and usage needs. It can associate credit cards with business partners so that you can reuse those cards whenever they're needed. Or you can use the one-time card feature on the ThirdWave credit card authorization window and not store that card's data in association with a business partner. Or you can use a combination of the two methods as it meets your needs. ThirdWave's credit card processing application, helping you to manage your business better. For more information on ThirdWave's credit card processing or any of the other applications that ThirdWave offers, please visit our website at www.twbs.com. You can click the Contact Us link in the upper right corner of the page. Existing ThirdWave partners and customers can obtain more information through the support portal by clicking the Customer Support link in the upper right corner of the page. Thank you for your time and attention.